sake!
I genuinely didn't see it. I forgot it was there.
Is it on the laptop?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, welcome to this week's episode of the Funfiltered podcast. I'm here with Jordan.
Okay, alright.
And Sam.
Jordan has just spilt quite a substantial amount of Diet Coke over my laptop.
Well, because of the last podcast, it was decided that...
Don't sponsor us, Diet Coke. I don't want you anymore.
It was decided that we'll record in the dark again.
Yeah.
The thing is, the last podcast, we filmed it sort of as it was getting dark.
Yeah.
So there was still a bit of
the evening.
This is now, like, it's the middle of the night. It's now completely pitch black in here.
Yeah.
And I just completely misjudged where my Diet Coke was.
I will take 20% of responsibility for that.
Yeah.
Because the turn the lights off. Is it gone? Is it all gone?
Hang on.
Go into the sink. There's like lemon wipes.
Okay.
Go grab those.
Alright.
This is not how we thought this was going to start.
No.
We were going to start ranting about the fact that we've had fireworks going off all fucking night.
Right, yeah, okay. So I've still got my cold from last episode.
Yeah.
You're still hungover from the last episode, aren't you?
Yeah, well, you know.
I'm still me, clearly.
Yeah.
Man likes to go out a lot, what can I say?
Go lift it up.
Yeah, I got him. I know, I got him.
There's puddling underneath.
Yeah, I got him, don't worry.
Okay.
We'll stick to the plastic when it's dark,
Yeah,
not
okay.
the glass.
It's still working. I'm going to say that means good things.
Right, okay. Because I don't want it sticking. So don't let it stay on there.
Right, okay.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
You all alright?
Yeah.
What were you, fireworks, was it?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Seeing as they've already started going off, we've
I
reached that
thought
point of the year.
fireworks were a November the 5th thing, and that was it.
It's like Halloween, isn't it? How that's mutated, which we talked about last week.
Yeah.
No, it's not Americanized necessarily, but yeah, I seem to remember as a kid, you'd have it on the day, on bonfire night, and then maybe if it was a weekend, you'd get it on other days of the weekend. But now it just seems to be as soon as the clocks go back, or even just before, it becomes fireworks season, which I don't understand at all.
To call back once again to last week, I mentioned that like I had a friend who had a birthday just after Halloween, so I'd go on Halloween. Part of their routine was they go out trick or treating, they come back, and then they set off fireworks in the garden.
Yeah.
That I remember that being a novelty to
Right.
me. I was 10 or 11 at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you do fireworks not on bonfire nights? How wacky and novel.
Right.
Maybe not wacky, but just how novel. And now, pretty much from when the clocks go back to the new year, you just hear fireworks every night.
Yeah.
It feels like.
Yeah. Well, there was an occasion, we're talking like July, I think, and I was down the barrage in Cardiff Bay, and as I'm like walking back, there's fireworks going off that night. There must have been something going on. I can't remember what it was, but I do remember going, okay, it's like summer.
Yeah.
Like if you get them at any point, obviously you get them at New Year's as well as like bonfire night or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But the middle of summer?
Well, I was going to bring up New Year's. I think that's the only... those are the two times of the year is acceptable. Is bonfire night or bonfire weekend and New Year's. Because in New York, they've got like the Times Square thing, haven't they, for New Year's?
Yeah.
That's like their annual thing.
Yeah.
It's the closest thing we have for like a unified... it's New Year's now, because everyone's going to their own parties and their own things.
Yeah.
And so just like one in London, just setting off those fireworks, like, okay, I can live with that.
Yeah.
Have you ever been impressed by fireworks? I genuinely don't understand.
I used to be
As a
scared by
child.
fireworks.
Yeah.
I genuinely used to be scared of them.
Yeah.
I think by the time I was old enough to get over that fear, I kind of stopped.
You were old enough to not care anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
As a child, I remember as a child having a real love of sparklers.
Right.
Just waving those around in the garden like a little idiot. But other than that, because fireworks used to be, my dad would have people round. There'd be wine for the adults. I think it was probably Schlur for the kids.
Yeah.
He'd do a sort of nibbles and a spread, and then we'd do fireworks. But his garden in the house he had at the time, it was they had the house next to us, and like either side, the two big trees leaned over.
Right.
So it was usually which tree are we going to hit this year?
Okay.
Kind of competition,
Yeah.
because there were certainly a few rockets that would go off and go right into the tree, and you were questioning whether we were going to have to call the fire brigade for the tree being on fire or whatever. But, other than that,
firework alert.
Other than that,
of course, you, Sam, you set off fireworks all year round, don't you?
I do. It's constant. Yeah. Multicoloured as well.
Yeah, see a doctor. Genuinely.
I have
It's starting to bother me.
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
But yeah, like, so, but that was like an annual thing that we would do. But yeah, in more recent years, I mean, okay, yeah, they're nice, they're pretty, but I was quite scared of them as a kid as well.
I think there are so many things that children are afraid of that adults just don't seem to assume that kids like them. Clowns being one example. I knew kids that weren't scared of clowns, but I don't think I ever met a kid that really liked clowns. Oh yeah, cool, a clown. Who gives a shit about a clown?
I was to say, because if they did, they were probably the ones that dressed up as clowns, as adults.
Yeah, and went on to commit high school massacres. But do you know what I mean? I just think that, like,
the views of the other people on this podcast may not reflect Sam's views. Or
not necessarily, but almost always. No, yeah, like, kids don't like clowns, and I don't think a lot of kids. I could be way off there, but I don't
think kids really like clowns.
No,
I think that's fair.
Yeah, but firework, okay, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong there, but no, I really don't. It's like something It's like I'm on another planet when it comes to fireworks. Oh, let's go for this fireworks show. Why? I actually don't get it. There's that thing is missing in me that can appreciate fireworks, whatever that is. But I mean, as we've probably gathered from all these episodes, it seems that not much impresses me.
I mean, life, humans, none of it.
It's beneath me, innit? Yeah, fireworks are shite.
But it is. I do remember it being a bigger deal, like going to like if there was a proper display on. Like, I remember my mum when I lived up near Manchester, my mum taking me to one at the Trafford Centre,
right,
and that being a really big deal. And as a child, it was like, oh yeah, that's we'll go watch the fireworks.
Yeah.
But I don't like, if I see fireworks, like on New Year's, I worked last New Year's.
Yeah. So
I'll see it hits 12 o'clock, and we kind of like went and watched them going off outside the window. But at the same time, I just kind of got on with my job.
I think it's one of those things of like, Halloween for adults is basically, let's have a normal night out, let's go and get pissed, but it'll be in the novelty of everyone's dressed up, right? But it's the fundamental drive of the night is the same.
Yeah.
New Year's, kind of the same thing, it's just a piss up, but I understand, I'm not against celebrations, and I understand the appeal of different holidays or whatever, but I just feel like bonfire night, that I don't even know what it supplements. I'm like, oh, we're just gonna, because it's fireworks events or bonfire night is not even a get pissed sort of occasion, is it? Really? It's we'll stand if we're going to a thing, we'll stand in a field, maybe have a drink, but just watch the fireworks.
Yeah.
And especially now we live in a world of virtual reality and CGI that looks more real than real. How are you supposed to be impressed by like a bit of colour in the sky and that makes a noise?
Yeah, well, it is supposed to be novelty, right?
I guess.
Ooh, fireworks.
Just
Don't
like,
see those often.
Even if everything we do is ultimately for nothing, right? I do get the appeal of going out and getting drunk to a degree because it's just having fun. It's just loosening up and whatever.
Yeah.
At the end of a fireworks display, what have you gained from that experience? Oh yeah, I saw a thing.
I've now got the smell of smoke in my nostrils.
Yeah,
I saw explosions.
I saw explosions of colour.
A thing went boom.
Yeah.
I saw explosions of colour.
Actually, no, it might just be there.
What?
I saw an explosion.
I would recommend...
I saw explosions in the sky and it was cool.
Okay, let me recommend to all of our listeners then, drop acid. If fireworks impress you, you need to seriously expand your horizons a little bit, I think.
You get explosions. Even when you close your eyes, you'll just see explosions.
You won't be able to sleep for explosions of colour. You're tortured with a constant explosion of colour. It's brilliant. Not that we've ever done acid.
No.
Acid. It's fireworks, but with existential dread.
Yeah, well, LED, isn't it? That's what the kids call it. Isn't it?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Can you not read
I can't. No, it's funny that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got my phone here.
We've got a few notes, but when you put yourselves in the dark, it does become incredibly hard to read.
It does, but I've manoeuvred the room so we're sitting at a table next to a set of windows, and we are sitting in total darkness. But I've got the blinds open, so if anyone walks past, they will be able to make out the fact that there are people in here, just sitting in the dark, and they're going to wonder what the hell is going on.
What's the funniest or strangest thing you've seen when you've looked into somebody's house through like a window?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I tend not to do that.
I can't help it, Sue. Not like in a, it's just one of those things it's just one of those things you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dara Breen does a joke about it. It's like having your curtains open.
Yeah,
it's like having cleavage on your house. People are going to look through
it's
the window.
It's an invitation. Yeah.
I was like, in terms of the weirdest thing I've seen people arguing through a window, but I couldn't hear them.
No, of course not.
And when you're just seeing two people sort of jousting hands in each other's direction, and you're like, okay, I know you're having an argument, but without sound, this is incredibly funny to watch because it's just this. Yeah, and, like a lot of action,
frantic pointing,
gesticulating.
Frantic gesticulation or whatever.
Yeah.
But then, like in terms of like sounds, like if you walk around Cardiff, people will leave their window open quite happily, and you will hear the amount of times I've heard people having sex.
Right.
All right.
Just like what
Do you know what? I don't think I've ever heard that. I honestly don't. I think once in my life I've
heard or seen. I've never seen because sometimes
never. It's never seen. It's
someone will
heard.
forget to draw their curtains or something. I've never seen that.
I've never seen it, but I don't think I've ever overheard someone having sex either. Maybe once.
Well, I would say when our friend lived in the halls.
Yeah.
I've walked past that halls and heard it.
Okay.
From him?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, it was that. I mean, it was that side of the building, but I don't think so. But yeah, like I've heard it there.
Yeah.
Because I walked home from work with a colleague the other day, and it was like the thing I messaged him like 5 minutes later. It was like, I've been walking home now for 5 minutes. I think I've heard two people having sex.
Okay. As in two couples.
No,
it's better than hearing one
separate
person having sex. Yeah.
Just the guy sadly going at himself. But yeah, no, I think I suppose near the city centre, it's more you're getting the people who have gone out drunkenly, come back and whatnot.
Yeah.
And obviously I see a lot more of that being in the city centre, near enough.
What about you, Sam? What's the funniest / strangest thing you've seen?
Honestly don't. I'd have to make something up. I know it's not interesting for a podcast.
Okay.
But I can't think of anything odd that I've seen through an open window. But yeah, I tend not to look.
Okay. I also try and not look, but you will catch a glance occasionally.
Okay.
If you walk into a place, like where do you look?
Okay, so
look ahead.
What's the oddest thing you've seen then?
Pair of tits.
Yeah, for Jordan, it's like alien flora, isn't it? Fauna.
Seriously, come on.
Hey,
we're doing the next podcast with the lights on. Maybe it brings out something in you.
It's not his fault. He's always in the comments section or watching the story.
Yeah, very true.
I'm calling back to that as well. Okay. What's the strangest thing? The image that came to my head when I asked you both the question, we were walking through, I won't say the place, but we were walking like back to your old house on one occasion.
Okay.
And I looked in through a window, and it was like a very long, narrow house. It was like, if it was a front room, but it almost looked like a corridor. And there was no furniture in it apart from one armchair that was at the other end of the house facing the window.
Right, okay.
There was nobody sitting in it, but it was like in a position that implied that they would sit in the chair and look directly out of the window. And that was a bit weird.
Okay. Yeah.
What the hell is it? Because there was no furniture, no TV, no, like nothing, blank walls. Just one armchair at the other end of the room looking out of the window.
Now that I didn't even think about like furniture. It was now you said that I've been on holiday with my father, and he is someone who he'll book a caravan or a like lodge, but he wants to know what the other people on the site have got like what the difference is between the different ones.
I see.
And we were on one. I say we, it was him, and he pointed it out. But there was like a completely like stripped out one. Seeing that where it, outside's been fully done, but then the inside is completely empty.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they were just refurbishing it or like whatever. But yeah, the idea of just a stripped out caravan was weird.
Okay. My best mate in primary school, we were both big Power Rangers fans, and he went on holiday with his family. I remember him coming back to me. I didn't really know what sex was at the time. We must have been like 7 or 8. And he told me that he had seen the actor who played the White Power Ranger in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers having sex in a hotel room.
Oh no!
I'm pretty sure it was a lie, right? Just like a juvenile, I'm gonna lie sort of thing. But when I sort of understood what he was talking about, I was like, why have you told me that? I don't want to think about that shit.
Yeah, I want to ruin Power Rangers.
He's Tommy Oliver from Power Rangers. I don't want to see him think about him shagging someone,
Yeah.
Unless it's the Pink Ranger.
But good for Tommy. Also,
good for Tommy if it was him. Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah, I want to quickly hark back to you mentioned the doctors earlier.
Oh yes.
I want to tell a little story.
Oh, go on.
About going to the doctors. It's graphic, but this podcast is no holds barred, isn't it?
Well, certainly now, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we've got an explicit rating. It's fine.
Yes, we do. So I stuffed a guinea pig up my anus. No, I didn't.
So yeah, we do have Eminem on the podcast, but it's a guinea pig rather than a gerbil through a
Yo,
tube.
I'm white, yo. Sorry, I was doing an Eminem impression. So I've been having stomach issues, so I went to the doctor, and there's been some blood where there shouldn't be. Nothing to worry about. And the doctor, you right there? He said to me, look, I'm going to have to, pop a finger up and give it a feel.
Yeah.
And I had sort of anticipated that this might happen. So I was kind of prepared for it. Yeah. So I lay down, and he said to me, don't worry, rest assured, I've got fingers of steel. How is that?
It's
supposed to calm
me down.
It's the
worst thing you could suggest.
I think what he was trying to get across was I'm very careful, and I've got my hands are very still, and I'm in control of them. But steel is not what I want going up my anus.
No, it's not.
And unless I've been taken out for dinner first. But and a good film. But yeah, then he started. I said to him, he said, "Have you noticed that you're bloated at all?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm a mirror looker. Every morning I look in the mirror. I'll be honest with you. And if I'm not depressed by what I see, that's like a good day. Do you know what I mean? But I have noticed I'm a lot more bloated." And so he just started doing Herculean poses. I'm like, you're that guy, you right? I was like, right, okay, we're doing this now.
Yeah. He was mocking you.
No, he wasn't mocking me. He was going along with what I was saying.
Okay. He did ask him if he felt like he was bloated. It does kind of sound to me like he's going, you do look a bit fat.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But he was fat, so I wouldn't have taken that. So he was just going to hurt. When the more relaxed you are, the easier this will be. I'm as relaxed as feasible, I think. Anyway, so he did it. Now, have either of you ever had a finger up your anal canal?
No, I can't say I have.
Yeah.
Go on.
Tell us more, Eddie.
Well, yeah.
I genuinely didn't know this.
Yeah, I mean, it's
your own finger or someone else's?
Yeah, your own
finger. No. It was during sex.
I love you trying to come up with a euphemism there. It's like he was doing the older sex.
Well, it just had Dole just saying it plain and straight. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, no,
And how was it for you?
Was that alright?
Okay.
Did it improve proceedings?
Did it enhance anything in the erogenous zone?
I mean, it was it was good sex. So
okay. See, admittedly, this wasn't in an erotic context, so maybe if the dynamic was different, I would have enjoyed it. But I thought it's going to be a little kind of just a slight exploration up there. It's not. Just to warn you, if you ever have a prostate exam or anything like that, they go basically up to their elbow. And it's
full fist,
right, and then they kind of open their.
Oh no!
Up. They don't do that. They don't do it. It's just one. It's
genuinely squirmed there. Genuinely not comfortable.
No, they don't do that. Like a spider motion.
Oh God! You're just trying to fuck him up.
Yeah, it didn't help with the doctor when he was doing like, I'm a spider. No, I'm pretty sure it was his middle finger, because if it wasn't, yeah, fair play. But
extending his middle finger inside.
yeah, he's giving me the middle finger. Yeah, I was fingered by the doctor.
Yeah.
He's known me more intimately than most people have, to be honest. Yeah, so having had that experience and having felt, not just violated, but like proper biologically invaded.
Yeah.
Then I gotta say, I see Pride every year, all the colourful colours and flags, and I don't see what all the fuss is about.
Once again,
these views are Sam's and not everyone on the podcast.
Yeah. Right, yeah, so something that we wanted to talk about was the appropriate use of songs. This is a really weird segue. It's not a segue, I just changed topic.
Sam doesn't want to think about the finger anymore.
I don't, no. I was playing music in my head as it was happening.
were any of them Christmas songs, perchance?
They weren't.
No.
But that would be convenient if they were, wouldn't they?
And you know why, Sam?
Why?
Because you don't play Christmas songs when it's not Christmas.
Right.
Nah. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Christmas.
Okay.
But...
I'm sure we'll talk about that in a future episode.
Oh, yeah, probably.
It'll tease you there.
Around by February, I imagine.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
By the time it
no.
uploads.
Yeah, it'll be April next year.
Yeah.
April
Fools. It's a Christmas
episode.
As someone who happens to watch It's a Wonderful Life all year round,
Right.
Okay.
the Christmas songs... I don't necessarily like seeing it in the Christmas in the shops really early.
Right.
But Christmas songs, I think there is...
A time and a place.
No, there's an allowance for that.
Oh, okay.
You can... I mean, we were, listening to Christmas songs earlier, so...
Yeah. Well, like the Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues.
Yeah.
That's one of my favourite songs, full stop. I really like that song. I think it's kind of underrated. Because it's a Christmas song, it's not thought of as a song enough.
No.
And it's just this really beautiful song in its own way.
Yeah.
But your contention, Jordan, seems to be that it shouldn't even be amongst my favourite songs because it is just a Christmas song.
I put it, back when I had a music player, I put it on my music player around about Christmas time.
Right.
But because it had limited memory, I took it off after Christmas.
Okay.
I think you had a go at me for that.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah. Well, don't you get enough of the Christmas stuff when Christmas is about? Just like the sheer density of Christmasness that is shoved in your face, like December time.
Yeah.
Surely that's enough for you.
But Last Christmas by Wham is an absolute song.
It is. It's not a case of...
It's most certainly a song, Eddie.
It's
I'll give you
100%
that.
a song.
It's definitely that.
It's that is something I do listen to.
Do you know what that bitch did? She gave it away the very next day. She a right harlot.
What a slut.
What a slut. Who'd she give it to? The black market sort of thing?
Oh,
I don't know.
That's fine. It's going to give it to someone special this year.
Yeah, that's true. George Michael gave it to enough people special. In public toilets. He's dead. You can't label the dead. What were we talking about?
Christmas.
The
Christmas.
post. Yes, no. You say, don't you get enough of that? Well, that's not the case in terms of... It's not that I listen to those songs because I want Christmas out of it. Christmassy. Christmas is too Christmassy.
Yes.
So it's not like, I need my fill by listening to this stuff. There are just certain things that are Christmas themed that I enjoy. So, the obvious one is Die Hard as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone, that's always at the top of the list of best Christmas films of all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because principally it's not a Christmas film, is it? It's an action movie. But it's
set
set
at
at
Christmas.
Exactly, yeah.
Actually, question. I know the first one's set at Christmas.
Yeah, I think the second one, is it New Year's? It's snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
But I would say, I feel like after that, with 3 and 4, and...
3 and 4 just...
It's just, we've made a series now.
Yeah,
3 wasn't originally a Die Hard film, was it?
No, it was written as a script called Simon Says, just a straight up thriller action movie. And then it got kind of bought by the Die Hard brand.
Yeah.
And became a Die Hard film. I'm not sure whether the fourth one was that. But I can see how it would be, because that was based on an article called, I think, A Farewell to Arms, which was about computerized, the weaponization of technology. So I can see how that could have been written as just a cyber thriller.
Yes.
I was like, we'll put John McClane in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I haven't even bothered to see the fifth one, so I
neither.
don't know.
Well, it's not. This one. Jai Courtney, is that the one?
That's the one, yeah. One of those forgettable
Is that the one that's
Australian
called
acts.
A Good Day to Die Hard?
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, so our joke is that because every Die Hard movie, it's kind of expanded its scope.
Yeah.
So Die Hard is just set in Nakatomi Plaza, one skyrise. The second one is set in an airport and its surrounding area. The third one is set in New York City. The fourth one is set on the eastern seaboard. The fifth one is Russia, as far as I understand. So the only logical next step is space.
Yes.
So they will call the next film
In space, no one can hear you. Die Hard.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I've written that script if anyone wants to buy it.
Bruce Willis hit us up.
Bruce Willis what?
Bruce Willis hit us up.
Oh yeah, Bruce Willis. Yeah, Brucey. Give us a check.
Yeah.
But Christmas. What is this rule? For instance, you saying it shouldn't be in your favourite songs because it's a Christmas song. Couldn't I just say you shouldn't have that in your favourite songs? It's like a song that you just dance to. It's not a song that you listen to.
Well, no,
it's a song you dance to.
it's tied very much to a season, isn't it? It's a seasonal thing.
Right, but what about
it's like putting up a Christmas tree in June.
Okay, let's just say
I guess there's nothing against that, but why?
Let's just theorise that there's some cretin out there whose favourite song is. Give me a summer song.
Summertime Sadness.
Okay, I don't know that. Okay. So I'll just say "Cruel Summer," right, by Bananarama. Okay. There's a topical reference.
Oh yeah.
Is that allowed to be someone's favourite song?
Sure.
But that's very seasonally related.
Is it?
It's called "Cruel Summer."
Yeah, but summer isn't it's not like Christmas, is it? Where it's like a...
No, it's even longer.
Very distinct time of year that has all these like festivities and...
Well, summer? Have you been to summer?
There's a festival.
No.
There's a festival every weekend.
No, it's a fest. Yeah, but it's not. Christmas is a festival. It's a thing, isn't it? It has all these like routines and.
What does the thing have to be to be a thing?
What?
What does the thing have to do to be a thing then? If summer's not enough, but Christmas is.
Yeah.
What? Let's say there was a song by a Swedish death metal band called Bonfire Night.
Yeah.
Would that be appropriate?
For what to play outside of Bonfire Night? Probably not.
Yeah, he's mental.
I really hope there's a song called Bonfire Night by a Swedish death metal band.
Yeah, it probably is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, no, you can't deny that there are films out there that exist purely to be Christmas films. Films that are about Christmas that use the decoration of Christmas and that are designed to be viewed entirely at Christmas.
I would agree, but how many of those films are actually good?
No, but that's the thing.
Yeah,
they're not.
true.
They're not made as films. They're made to be Christmassy,
right?
Yeah, but
to exist at the time that Christmas exists. You know.
I was gonna say because my favorite film is It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah,
which is technically speaking a Christmas film.
Okay, this is something that I will remedy at some point, but I haven't seen A Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
How important is it being set at Christmas to the story?
Eddie used the right word. Technically,
it's technically a Christmas film.
Yeah.
It's set at Christmas.
Okay.
It's like any Shane Black movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see... It's the weird thing of... And I get it with the Fairy Tale of New York as well. Because I think that they're both easily things you could watch and listen to all year round.
Yeah.
But then I do and have listened to Last Christmas in the middle of summer.
Okay.
But, I don't know whether it's just because I spend a lot of time with music and film, so I treat them differently.
Yeah.
When it comes to Christmas. But, as I say, seeing as you won't... It's a Wonderful Life is not on TV, generally speaking, until... it won't be on until December.
Yeah.
Die Hard's slight exception, because sometimes that's on in the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But, for me, I don't see it. I think, the story of It's a Wonderful Life, just because it's set at Christmas doesn't mean it has to be a Christmas film.
No, I mean, the thing about what It's a Wonderful Life, I think it's sort of been... not undermined, but it's been done a disservice by people saying it's a Christmas film. Because I don't think positive thoughts when I think Christmas film.
No.
It's Wonderful Life is a great film, but it happens to be set at Christmas.
Yeah.
And because it's Christmas, it's augmented by the fact that it's about family and good spirits and joie de vivre and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's not a. I don't know what makes a Christmas film. I suppose
It's a lot of it. I think is just the iconography of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
They have that general sense of family and good tidings, and you know.
Say, have you seen Love Actually?
At some point, but I don't remember.
I say, would you say that's acceptable to watch at any point in the year?
I'd honestly, because you brought it up earlier, I'd honestly forgotten it was set at Christmas.
I would say that's unacceptable to watch. Full stop.
No, fair enough, but other people will,
Yeah.
you know. But that is a film which is definitely on not just at Christmas.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Much like films like The Holiday, which again, it's alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll watch it with my mum when she puts it on the TV.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's okay for mums to like it.
That is, again, technically speaking, a Christmas film.
Yeah.
But that will be on during the year.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, the films that you're getting on at Christmas, Arthur Christmas, Elf,
Yeah.
the Santa Claus trilogy.
Yeah. It's like The Godfather, isn't it?
No, because The Godfather's... Well, okay, ignore part 3.
Yeah, but the first two are decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how did Elf become such a major phenomenon?
Yeah, that happened, like, that wasn't instant, right?
I don't
No.
think so, no.
No.
Because I liked Elf when I was younger.
Yeah,
I remember
same.
watching it when I was at Christmas. And now, all of a sudden, it feels like all of a sudden it's,
Yeah.
it's
It feels
Christmas
like
tradition.
they've taken, like, the modern people came along and took the film and went, this is our...
It's a Wonderful Life. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
but
Elf
what
is-
an indictment of a
No,
generation
say-
that is.
Elf
it-
came out in
it's
like
a
early
wonderful-
2000s.
Oh,
It's
three.
not...
No, but that's
a-
it's a film that millennials saw as children.
Right,
And so
yeah.
now, and everyone saw it because it was a Christmas movie. I saw it for my birthday when I was 9.
Right.
And so now that we've come of age, for lack of a better term, we've appropriated it as one of the great classics.
This is our contribution to culture.
This is our contribution to culture.
Well,
yeah.
Elf
I would
is
say,
now
It's a Wonderful
Christmas
Life
standard.
wasn't... It didn't do well when it came out. It became the popular...
Yeah, no, yeah, it did, yeah.
It became popular after the fact.
Yeah,
Which I feel Elf has done it more of now.
yeah.
Because although Elf did all right when it came out, I feel there's more people talking about it now. You know, if you go... You know, December rolls around and people are talking about the Christmas films they're going to put on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Elf is definitely
Oh,
up
absolutely, yeah.
But then, of course, there are Christmas films that aren't Christmas films. So, like The Wizard of Oz,
Yeah.
which is played always at Christmas.
On every-
but isn't a Christmas film.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang
Yeah,
is one.
That. Yeah, so...
that's more of a New Year film, though, I feel.
Okay, but that presumes that there's a quality that unites those films that makes them a Christmas film.
Yeah.
And what is that?
Well, Elf-
family appeal.
Yeah, Elf is obvious because
Yeah.
it's about, like, Santa.
Yeah, but but your Wizard of Oz is, for instance. That's what is that? It's a universal appeal, I suppose.
Yeah.
Is that it? The fact that like everyone can watch it?
Sound of Music is another one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Nazis, universal appeal.
Yes, of course. Musicals, is that a thing?
Yeah, I feel like that's a Christmassy thing. Musicals.
Well, I was say you get the panto, obviously. Which
Yeah.
again, the thing with the panto, which I completely understand that what you're doing is technically like Christmassy because it's always it's always like geared toward Christmas. But you could easily write a panto that ran all year.
Yeah.
Just no one does it.
Yeah.
But surely that would there is a market and an audience for that, which is why I don't understand why it's not done.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's something about Christmas is about like an expression of joy, maybe. Yeah, you know what I mean. So like that.
Ban that.
Oh yeah, fuck that noise. But
Well, it's also a very, like, that's when the family comes together, isn't it? You get the family coming together at Christmas.
but who likes that?
It's fine. I'll work Christmas Day.
Well, families like that.
Families don't like Christmas.
Yeah,
No one likes. No.
No, because the stereotypical thing is getting together with your in-laws and
And having to put up.
Oh,
with them.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I've never had that.
Well, no, you'll never have in-laws. That might be the most horrible thing I've ever said to you.
I'm gonna go away now. I'm gonna go sit over here.
fucking hell.
I'm honestly not as horrible to you outside of this podcast. It does bring out something.
Yeah, you tell them that, Sam. I'm sure. I'm sure they'll believe you. I'm sure your behaviour has done nothing but suggest that you're always this cruel.
No, don't be silly.
No, I say that. I say the family thing because that's always it's not as strong now that I'm in my like 20s. Like the whole familyness of Christmas is sort of, because my sister as well, she's nearly 18. So depending on whether she moves away to university or not, this is the time in our lives where the family unit starts to spread out a little bit and takes its own directions. But it's always been, I've like, until I sort of hit my 20s, I always loved Christmas because it was very much a family oriented.
That's why you liked it, because it was family oriented.
Well, it just, like, the routine that we had was based entirely around the family, and it was a very nice routine. And most Christmases were just very comfortable and nice, and, you know.
See, this is what I sometimes forget about you, is that you're not from a broken home.
No.
Yes.
So, like, it is genuinely odd to me to hear someone say, "Oh, I like the familyness of Christmas."
Well, so,
I don't even know what that means.
No, because for me, Christmas growing up was alternating. Which each year alternating which parent I was having Christmas with.
Okay. See, that's alien to me. I can't imagine. That happening.
But it's weird. I mean, my sister did. Well, she still loves it. And my sister is older than me because the amount of roast dinners she gets out of it, which is, you know, my sister has a roast plenty of times throughout the year. It's not like, you know, that's not something she won't cook. But it's like it gets to Christmas like, oh yeah, we're seeing these people this day, these people this day, these people this day, so I'll get a turkey that day, and she, you know, but that's genuinely something that, you know, sort of quite excites her.
I think I've kind of struck a because I was the same. I used to alternate. Not who I would see. 'Cause I'd see them both over Christmas, but it would be who I go to for dinner and that sort of thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mine were 200 miles apart.
That's so there you go. So it's very much across the board.
Yeah.
Because mine were divided but very close to each other.
Yeah. No. Because go on.
Okay. So, but now I think the last few years, I've definitely struck this is the routine now. So I'll be with my mother on Christmas Eve. It used to be going out. My school, the school that me and Jordan went to, you used to have a reunion every Christmas Eve in the local Wetherspoons. But enough time has passed now that just no one does that anymore. Christmas Eve with my mother, and then Christmas morning with her. I go with my father's for the afternoon for dinner, because he's a butcher, so I'm going there for dinner. And then I come home, and then Boxing Day, it's between the two then. But that seems to be my... And you actually know, I usually go over I go to my grandfather's house on Boxing Day, and that's kind of where everyone... So that's my experience of the miserable family Christmas. Where everyone's crammed into the room and it's just horrible.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, because... Yeah, so it used to be that whichever parent I didn't have Christmas with, I had New Year's with. That was the system we used to have.
That makes sense.
Until I went to uni.
I started going out for New Year's.
Then I just started going out for New Year's. So it became that, you know, for those 3 years of uni, the alternating still happened. But it would be, right, well, I'm seeing you for these 2 days, you for these 2 days, and then I'm back in Cardiff. But I have worked Christmas Day the last few, you know, or at least around Christmas Day the last few years. So it's become, the Christmas is not completely alien. That's not the right word. But Christmas doesn't have the same...
magic.
It doesn't have the same magic, but it doesn't have the same thing for me anymore. You know, like, I mean, I was saying, you know, just to you earlier on, that, you know, my sister was moving house, so she didn't get a birthday present off me for like months on end. My birthday came and I didn't know what I wanted. At that point, I was moving, and she's only just now bought me a present. And then, you know, you saw the Christmas coming up, and everyone's sort of asking you what you want for Christmas, and I'm, you know, because my family ask early.
Well, the thing is, I'm at the age where obviously it's not magical or anything like that to me anymore. I don't have children, so I don't vicariously experience it through them. Nor do I have a girlfriend. So for me, it really is just another day, basically. I don't dislike it. I don't hate it. And I do like some of the trappings of Christmas.
It still has something for me.
Okay.
Like I said, there's the family component, but there was... It might have been you. There was like a reason last Christmas where I had to go out. Because typically I don't go outside the house on Christmas Day. But I had to go outside and like pick somebody up on Christmas Day. And just driving around the streets on Christmas Day. There was even though there's streets I've driven thousands of times. There was something like different about it. It's there's
a stillness to it, I find.
It's like when you're walking in the snow. There's just like a different energy to it almost, isn't there?
Yeah. But I think especially more, I'll be honest with you guys, I've been having a bit of a quarter life crisis that hit me when I turned 24. I don't know why, not 23, not 22, but 24. So it's like, I need to start like really doing something with my life. And genuinely, and I think the more time goes on and the more time seems to be going quicker, especially like Christmas does just seem to slip past now.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, you bring up you being 24, but it's not going to be that long until you're 25.
No, 2 months, yeah.
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 And then I was sat there thinking, well, I'm 24.
Yeah.
But actually, I've been 24 for the last, 4 or 5 months now, or whatever it is. So, actually, the time's already...
Yeah, it's flown by.
Yeah.
Yes, that doesn't help.
No.
A reminder that he's going to be 25 soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
It's alright, you got it coming as well. Don't worry. 25.
Fucking hell.
So, yes, this quarter life crisis of yours.
Quarter life crisis. It was weird. It's sort of manifested as... Well, I've also been, let's get real about that. I've been quite ill for this year, really.
Yeah.
So that has kind of wasted a lot of time for me. I feel like I've lost a year. That's part of it. I don't know. You just you do start to increasingly get the sense of time is running out. You know what I mean? Which is obviously always the case.
Yeah.
But it just hits more acutely when you realise I'm almost closer to being 30 than I am 20.
Yeah.
That hits hard. But it's things like, the typical, the stereotypical sense of existential dread. I never actually had existential dread where it's like, oh God, I'm going to die. Whatever, you know what I mean? But I was watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is an HBO comedy. And that's made by a guy who's in his 70s. And he created one, Seinfeld, which is one of the highest rated, most acclaimed shows of all time. And then this Curb Your Enthusiasm. And I was watching it just going, this is really good and he's really good in it. And he's doing well, but he's just going to die after this show.
Yeah.
And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And it was really like this cold stomach sensation I never experienced before. And it's like, oh God, it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what I do. I just want to get out. But one thing that does do is any tolerance for nonsense I did have has gone straight out the window.
Yeah.
I just can't put up with pointless things anymore.
I would say no, and I'm getting there.
Yeah.
There is. I put up with a lot less shit. Like particularly in work over like the last few weeks.
Yeah.
In particular, you'll have colleagues come up and try and tell me about whatever shit that happened on a night out or whatever, and I will just be like, yeah, great. Why the fuck are you telling me? Like,
yeah.
This does nothing for me. I wasn't on that night out. I don't know those people. Why the fuck should I care? Yeah,
and things like gossip, things like that, but also things like I'm bored of torment. Do you know what I mean? I think a writer needs a certain amount of torment, but I'm just bored of like, if I want a thing, I'm not just gonna like suffer in silence.
Yeah,
I'll just admit my want for the thing, and if it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like things like that. And I won't name names, but we went out on Saturday.
Yes. Yeah.
And we were with friends of ours, a couple, and they were having just a.
You can not name them all you want. They're gonna know
if they listen. Yeah.
Oh, if they listen, I suppose. Yeah.
I don't think they'll mind. Okay. They had an argument that I think both of those would acknowledge was just ridiculous.
Okay.
And was just out of nothing and because of nothing.
Yeah.
And I think any other time I would have, because we haven't been out in so long, I would have just sort of sat in awkward silence and gone, okay, well, I hope they
resolve it
by the time. But this night I was just, you know what? You were talking to me about it privately. You were talking to me about it privately. Let's just what's going on here. Let's hash it out because I'm not, things like that. And even that wasn't my place, arguably, to just say, you two talk it out.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't bear the idea of you just completely wasting. What is the point of this?
Yeah.
Why are you doing? And being out of society for so long, when I went to the doctors, I went for a stroll through town.
Yeah.
It's Pontypridd town, and I went into a Greggs, and if you want to sponsor us, Greggs, and a guy held open the door for me on the way out, and I just said, thanks, just really casually, and he went, no problem, with that kind of tone.
Yeah.
And just that little kindness I was like, it really like filled my, like filled me with joy. Like, oh, he's a decent bloke, he is. So it gives you perspective. Like isolation gives you perspective on what you actually care about, and not that I'm advising self-imposed isolation, although a little bit of it is probably healthy.
Oh, a little bit's definitely healthy.
And yeah, it just gives you an appreciation for when things are good, you know. And the one thing I missed, one of the things I missed about public life, life in public, was, as I think I said to you, the Fraternity of the Irked.
Yes.
So, I think I told you both this story, but I was on the train coming back from Cardiff, and there was a guy sitting behind me with his girlfriend, and they must have been play fighting or something, and he just kept making this sound, ow, 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 repeatedly, right? Even when they stopped play fighting, he just kept doing it, and everyone in the carriage was clearly getting silently pissed off, but wasn't going to say anything because we're British.
Yeah.
And then the guy next to me just said, "Shut the fuck up," right? And so a hush descended.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favourite sentences. And the guy behind, I assumed it was me that had said it, so he leaned forward and he went, "You fucking what?" And I just didn't know what was going on. I sincerely, what did you just say? And then it clicked that he must have assumed it was me. I thought, right, I can do one of two things here. I can either point at the guy next to me and go, no, it was him. Which, when you think about it, shouldn't be wrong, because he's placed himself in the line of conflict fire here.
Yeah.
He's volunteered himself to stand to,
to
be the martyr for this guy.
But also that just seemed to have become like, oh, he did it. It's like...
Yeah, but also it's like childish, It's like, and I don't want to just make a problem.
Yeah.
So I thought I can either do that, or I can just kind of own it and go, "You weird." Yeah, but I wasn't going to do that either. So I just kind of went, I just shrugged and turned away, and he leaned back in his seat and just whispered, "Dickhead." But then when he left the carriage, when he left the train, the guy next to me just turned to me, patted me, and just held out his fist for a fist bump. So little things like that make you miss.
True.
And overhearing conversations like two 10-year-old boys, I assume they were 10, I assumed. One of them turned to the other and said, "I feel like we've been drifting apart." That's big for a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
You know? I'm gonna say that he comes from a divorced family. Yeah.
No, but I certainly said it to you, Sam, earlier on.
Yeah.
So there was an occasion for the listeners. There was an occasion where I showed up to a recording for a podcast in a shirt.
Yeah, just a normal shirt.
No, but I was in a shirt.
Yeah.
Looking a bit smarter.
Yeah.
And I got a few looks. It was a bit like, all right, mate.
Yeah.
You think you're better than us. What kind of attitude? And then I showed up today with a cap on and a hoodie, and slightly baggier trousers. And a guy offered me a fist bump and was like, "Yes, brother." And I'm like, right.
Yeah, so again, just to clarify, we record these podcasts in Pontypridd, which is where me and John live. And we don't really, it's black and white for us. So we either give you a key to the town or we spit on you.
Yeah.
It's one of those two things.
The home of widows and single teenage mothers.
Well, yeah, in Ponty, you will know there are three distinct demographics.
And you'll find all of them in Wetherspoons.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There are four distinct demographics.
Okay.
There's young mothers and their children, young single mothers and their children.
Yep.
Not judging. There are drug addicts hunting for their next fix that stride determinedly through the high street for what passes as a high street. And elderly people. And me and Jordan. Those are the four demographics of Ponty. Yeah, it's not,
Except for Fridays and Saturday nights where all the gym bunnies
all the
seem to materialise.
What goofy testosterone. Yeah, as our friend once said. But yeah, Ponty, I will always love Ponty, but I would never advertise it. It's this is a good little example, a microcosm. No, I've got two little stories, if I may be permitted. I've talked a lot, but so two little stories to illustrate what Ponty is. Me and Jordan were in our local Wetherspoons, and don't sponsor us. And there was a woman there with her phone, and she was clearly retarded, and I got to specify that was not actually, she wasn't meant to be disabled.
Yeah,
she was just an idiot.
Stupid. Yeah.
And I wouldn't call her retard a retard. I just did.
If we manage to get any of these monetized on YouTube, this is fucked.
Yeah, I think I've torpedoed that for us, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
But she came up to me and Jordan and just said, can you try and activate the Bluetooth? She didn't use the word activate, I'm paraphrasing. Can you activate the Bluetooth on my phone? And I was like, okay. And it was a really old model. I went, I'll give it a go, but I'm not sure I'll know how to do this. So I go, okay, love. So I tried going through and I just couldn't figure it out. You couldn't figure it out. Yeah. So I just gave the phone back to her and said, I'm not sure, sorry. And she went, what do you mean you're not sure? I went, I don't know. I don't know. She went, well, look at you. You're not thick, are you? So for her, there existed two types of people.
Yep.
People who know nothing, and then people who know everything.
Yep.
There's no continuum for her.
Yeah.
So just because we wore glasses...
We were smart.
We were smart and thus had to know how the Bluetooth worked on her phone. So that's one story. And then another
in
one.
fairness, though, I've had a bunch of people who've mistaken me for somebody who reads because of my glasses.
You do look like someone who reads, though, to be fair.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Well, you never read a book in your life.
No, I think I read when I was in school and I had to read books. I read books.
You didn't read books that you had to read in school.
You watched
famously.
You
watched
the film version. Definitely.
No. I'm talking about like in primary school where you had to read a book.
The ones with the pictures for pages.
Yeah, those ones. Hungry Caterpillar. All that
we studied the Great Gatsby at A level.
Yeah.
And the Baz Luhrmann film came out in the year.
Did you watch the film instead?
No, you just think he didn't even do that. A bunch of people. There was like sort of an unofficial class trip to the cinema because kids didn't want to read the book. So it's like, oh, we'll go and watch the film. I did read the book and I did go and watch the film. You didn't even bother going to watch the film, did you?
Well, it sounds like I was spared.
Oh, you were. Don't get me wrong.
Hear the reviews of it.
But you didn't even take the lazy way out.
No.
You didn't even aspire to the lazy way out.
And I still got a B.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but I think our grades, our testament, our indictment of the whole education system.
Oh, absolutely.
We shouldn't have done well at all, given how we treated our studies. But anyway, what the hell were we saying?
Second story about Ponty.
Yeah. Okay. No.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I was going to go on to that, but I feel like okay. Yes, the second story is we were in a place called Soul Suite. How would you describe Soul Suite, Jordan?
Oh, it's just trash, isn't it?
It's
a nightclub that 15, 60-year-olds go to.
Yeah, people who haven't hooked up in the other clubs and pubs in Ponty end up in Soul Suite. I always describe it as if Ponty is like a puddle of scum, Soul Suite is the drain from which it emerged. Yeah, have you ever been to Soul Suite, Eddie?
I don't think
No, we'll take you there one day.
Please don't.
No, it's like you get like those... you get like the New York tours that go to the obvious places, and then you got like the real tours of New York that take you to like the best little chicken restaurants. Like the insider.
Yeah.
Our insider tours taking people to Soul Suite. So we were there, and there was a woman there, and she started talking to me, and she said, "Oh, I don't like the music they're playing. I don't like the DJ's not playing songs I like. I wanted to play this song," and he was doing requests, right?
Yeah.
So I said, "Oh, you should go ask him to play that song." That's all I said. And she turned to her friends and went, "This guy's smart. We should follow him." And I left at that point, didn't I? I think I turned to her and went, "Yeah, we're going."
Yeah.
I can't abide that. Yeah.
This guy's smart.
Drink up, we're leaving.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Ponty in a nutshell.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I remember. So when I obviously moved to Cardiff and I met you, the first time I came down to Ponty for a night out, and I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And you introduced me to the Weatherspoons, which again, up until that point, I hadn't really spent that much time in a Weatherspoons prior to being 18.
Yeah.
Which is amazing because
I don't think I ever had. I don't think I'd ever been in a Weatherspoons before being 18. Not once.
No. But yet these days, the amount of 15, 16-year-olds
these days,
people that try and come in. So it was like a completely alien sort of thing. I was like, I'd gone to one like the first day I came to Cardiff.
Yeah.
But you sort of, but it wasn't like the one I'd gone to in Cardiff.
What, the Ponty Spoons?
Yeah.
No.
No, it was a lot rougher.
Well, that's the thing in Cardiff. Just in the city centre. How many spoons are there?
In the city centre, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the actual city centre itself,
and then like a few surrounding.
And then there's 4, 5 surrounding.
Yeah. So you've got like an old theatre that's been repurposed.
Yeah.
One is just your typical pub, I guess, central bar.
Yeah.
It covers
You've got one which a friend of ours, well, a few people we know have worked at, where the female toilets are a palace, basically, aren't they?
So it covers the whole thing.
It's like a fountain and a waiting room for the toilets.
Yeah, and they tried to film a well-known TV show in there.
Did they?
And
what TV show was it?
It was Doctor Who.
Okay.
And Weatherspoon said no. Which but they were trying to film a scene or something, and they literally wanted it for like 2 days apparently.
Right.
And it's not like it would have completely. It's not like they would have had to shut the pub necessarily or whatever. And Spoon went, no, absolutely not. Like,
why exactly?
I don't know. That's all I got told.
Okay.
They tried to film in there.
Is it because of the no? Because I've got something to say if it's about no filming in toilets. But was it like a no filming in toilet thing, or were they just like, we don't need you?
No, I genuinely don't think they wanted to be on a TV show like that. I think it was. No, we're not being
on a TV show like
we're not being represented on the BBC.
The biggest show to come out of Wales, basically, other than like Sherlock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Ponty Spoons is it's the closest thing. It's like the club for the Ronda, really.
Well, because I don't remember which occasion it was that I went in first year, but I do remember someone scouring for cigarettes.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
And offering something in exchange, which I think it was Coke.
Oh, was it to me?
Yes.
Yes, it was Coke.
Yeah, and being like, oh, okay. Because that was completely alien to me. Never, never sort of. It's like, oh, okay.
What were you offering him, Coke? Or...
No, a man offered me Coke.
Oh, I see.
A man offered Sam Coke in exchange for a cigarette.
Okay.
Yeah.
And being like, the amount of money you probably spent on the Coke.
Oh, it was a good deal.
Like
it was a really good deal for me.
Yeah. The way he would have spent.
I didn't accept it, by the way.
No.
If indeed it was Coke.
Yes.
He probably wasn't. But if he had spent all that money on Coke, you can buy a packet of fags for what, like a tenner?
Yeah.
It's not that, like, I'm going to say I assume Coke's a bit more expensive.
Well, if this was when you...
to assume, yes.
If this was when you first came to Ponty, fags would have been a lot cheaper back then as well.
Actually, I would say packs of 10 would have still existed at that point.
Yeah, packs of 10, and you probably could have got a 20 for like £6 or £7.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was 6 years ago. Oh.
That was really weird. I went to Prague, I think it was, in like 2017, late 2017.
Yeah.
And of course, they don't have as... Europe in general, I don't think, has as stringent cigarette laws as they do in the UK. Just the novelty of like walking into a shop and being able to buy... I didn't, but like being able to buy like a pack of 10 cigarettes for like the equivalent of £3.50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When of course here, by the end of next year, I think, they're looking to get... Because you can only buy packs of 20s now, and they're going to cost like £15, I think, for a pack of 20s. And menthol cigarettes are being kicked out entirely.
Well, that's how health conscious they are on the continent, isn't it?
Yeah.
No wonder, and they wonder why we voted to leave. Speaking of which,
fair play.
I pat myself on the back for that segue.
Okay.
So today, let's just shatter all illusion. We record 2 podcasts on the same day.
Yes.
So if it's we have briefly mentioned in the past that if it seems like we're talking about something and you're sat there listening going, bang on, that happened a week ago, it's because we record 2 like every 2 every 2 weeks we get together and record a block of 2.
Yeah. So this is our
second bit.
Yeah, our future podcast. Our will be soon out of date podcast.
Yes, yeah. So today, as we are recording, it was announced that there will be a general election
on the 12th of December.
Yeah.
So by the time you're hearing this, that'll probably change dates 6 times. Won't be happening. Jeremy Corbyn will be Prime Minister. And everything will be wrong with the world. Do we care?
No.
Okay.
I just wanted to bring it up to say how much we don't care.
Right. Okay.
Because I mean, Brexit is boring. Let's face it.
Yes. Oh yeah. Boring and confusing.
Boring, and it's been boring for quite a long time.
Yeah.
I was bored of Brexit a month after the vote, I think.
Which was, how long ago was the vote now?
Was it 2017, was it? Was it 2016?
I thought it was 16.
I have no idea.
Okay. All I remember is I came back from Amsterdam the day they announced the vote because I'd had to do a postal vote.
No, it was the same year as Trump.
It was the same year as Trump, so it would have been, he became president in 2017, so the election would have been in 2016.
Yeah,
okay.
so
it was 16, yeah.
I that was kind of nice because it was, we had,
everyone felt like the world had been fucked twice.
Yeah, nobody thought we were going to leave. And nobody thought Trump was going to be president, and they both happened within like months of each other.
And I was really happy about that.
Just because, like what you were saying before about, I mean, he's back now, but when Spider-Man left the MCU, it's like, things can happen.
Yeah, not just because of that, but partly because of that.
Yeah.
Yes, like, it can be different than you're being told, you know. But yeah, I mean, Brexit is... The thing that irritates me is that when I would say from the age of 19 to 23, I was like a bit of a political junkie, you know, American and British politics. I would absorb everything I could and listen to all the podcasts. You know, I like to think I was quite informed. Yeah. But still relatively uninformed, considering how much there is to know about all this stuff. And when you see people that you know better posting these things on social media.
Yeah.
These long didactic things about why all Tories are scum and how the Labour are the ones are informed and how the Conservative Party are
It's funny that, isn't it, how they're always left-leaning.
Yeah. I think
that's because no one right-leaning gives a shit.
Yeah, right-leaning, I would say generally speaking, right-leaning people they are conservative by nature, so they tend to keep their opinions to themselves a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's just the self-righteousness of it all, and I think that in your 20s it's necessary and almost incumbent upon you to go through a political phase.
Mm-hmm. Certainly during university.
Yeah.
That's one of the first things they encourage you to have.
I don't think you can avoid it.
No, you can't. You can't.
One of my first lecturers, we had 4-hour lectures with him, and 3.5 hours of those 4 lectures would be just him ranting about politics.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I still, I still care about culture a lot and politics in culture.
Yeah.
But
so it does annoy me to an extent just how many people, like, because they're like famous or whatever, decide that means that they are the person you should listen to as a platform. Yeah. That does annoy me a little bit.
Yeah, and it's just, again, like I say, it's people that aren't informed.
Yeah.
Really acting like they know this thing inside out.
Yeah, there's a general election coming up. I will vote.
Yeah.
I will make my own decision based on what I...
Yeah.
Yes.
And the world won't end either way.
No.
No.
I mean, I'm not being funny, but the world's not going to end when Brexit happens.
No. But as we've said, I think it's like when that eventually happens, it'll be so...
2027.
I think it's fair to say if.
Yeah, it's fair to say if, yeah.
2027.
I think it's...
extended.
Well, not even that. Isn't there like a push? There are people pushing for a second...
Yeah, there's people... The thing is, there's people pushing for a second referendum.
Yeah.
And all these people, I don't think are prepared to handle it if it goes the same way.
Yeah, it was like with Scotland, isn't it? They've had 2 votes now as to whether they're going to leave the UK, and on both occasions... Scotland has said, no, we'll stay in the UK. And they're still pushing for it.
And then they're so like, should we do another one?
Yeah.
We lost both times.
It's like, no, you weren't paying attention the first time. That's the thing with Brexit. It's like they had on the news, they had all these people about like, I didn't actually know what it was.
It was because they go on about how Brexit meant Brexit. I'm not being funny. I loved it when people were like, Brexit means Brexit. Because now they've learned what Brexit might mean. Yeah. Which has changed however many times.
Yeah. The thing, like, it's... ignoring what our own politics are, I don't really want to get into what politics are. But it's this kind of, I think part of the reason why, no one thought Trump was going to get elected, no one thought we were going to vote to leave, is just there's this complete... Right, it's based on this idea that left-leaning people will always say the right wing governs the media. Yeah. And the right wing will always say that the left wing governs the media. That's the way it's good. Now, ignoring our own personal politics, don't you think it's fair to say that vastly the media is left?
Oh, yeah.
I would certainly think that, yeah.
Right, okay. So, you're given this narrative about how things will turn out or how they should turn out. Yeah. And so when most people who aren't on their high horses, just normal working class, ordinary citizens, exercise their opinion in the, on the ballot, you get surprising results like this. And it's why a generation of people are so shocked that it happened. They can't fathom it. It's like, but I thought we all, oh my God, everyone's a racist. They can't compute it,
Yeah.
And it's all just bound up in this.
No, my dad, genuinely, the day, the morning of Brexit, I think I was getting up for work, he was already up for work, I walked downstairs, saw the results, and he said, oh, now we know how many racists are in the country.
Right. And you agree that's ludicrous?
Yeah, because there are people who just, like, you might have people who...
I'm sure all racists pretty much voted for Brexit. I think that's fair to say.
Okay, sure.
Not everyone who voted Brexit was racist.
No, and that's the distinction that needs to be
made.
Not everyone not everyone that voted for Brexit is racist, but all racists voted for Brexit. Kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you will, yeah.
I think, like Obama, right? No strident...
Did he vote for Brexit?
No strident racist in America.
Sorry, no strident racist what?
No strident racist in America voted for Obama. They would have voted for his opponent.
Yeah.
But not everyone who voted for his opponent was a racist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? And that is the fundamental confusion. Not confusion. It's an ignorance is what it is. It's just this kind of...
It's some of that Ponty thinking spreading, isn't it?
It is. That inability to think outside your own little bubble of... and everyone talks about this and preaches about how we're all in our social media bubbles and are going along the same tram lines. But it really, really is true. You know what I mean? You and I think for me, it's just... I think we need to be fair in this game. And it is a game. But fair in the sense of... You can have your own opinions, but you can't have your own facts. I'm not the first person to say that.
No.
But like the thing about saying, oh, the media is biased towards... It's not. If we're gonna talk objectively about these things, you have to admit at least that the media has a left-wing leaning. Overwhelmingly.
Yes.
You've got Fox News, you've got various things, but overwhelmingly.
Well, would you say that, I mean, in America most certainly, would you say that's the case in Britain as well?
Yeah. I think the BBC, which is nominally impartial, even they,
Oh, well, I mean, you can't deny the BBC News, you can say what you say about that.
Yeah,
the BBC is an organisation, you can't deny that.
Well, you talk about that a bit, like the policy.
Okay, yes. In 2016, I believe it was, something like that, they announced a policy which basically stated that as of 2020, their organisation would be 50% men, 50% women.
That hasn't happened though, surely.
No, but that's both on and off camera. It's 50% men and 50% women, 13% Asian and black, and 8% LGBTQ. Plus. AIP, whatever the acronym is.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah, so by 2020, those are the numbers they will have. They'll be on and off camera. But also, this is like, feel free to, fact check me on this. But I'm pretty sure the BBC is also cutting jobs as well.
Yeah, so
how,
to make room.
To make room.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. How are you...
So essentially they just fired most of their white males.
If you're going to be hiring people, and they are, I'm not, this is not me, like, there are genuinely job postings by the BBC where it says black people only. Or gay people only. How are they finding room for these people while also cutting jobs?
Yeah.
There are genuine, there have even been cases of it. There's like I can't remember his name, but there's like a radio DJ, who worked at the company for like years and years and years and had his own audience. And they fired him because he was a white guy.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's like, like it's happening, but I'm not saying like, oh, the BBC is like constantly firing white people and there's this like whatever. But yeah, like if an organization is implementing policies like that, surely it's fair to draw a correlation with their news network and say, well, surely that's going to rub off on the people who work in, the people who are telling us the news.
That's the thing. I think those kinds of diversity policies, they're not evil-minded, right? Because I don't think there's, there's no caprice here. There's no caprice. It's all.
Yeah. No.
It's under the guise of nobility. It's not evil-minded, but it is evil-spirited. And what I mean by that is they're not operating with a sinister agenda.
No.
But what motivates that beneath everything is really quite, if not evil, then profoundly stupid and misguided.
Yes. I'm not speaking out against it in the sense of like,
Yeah.
50% of women shouldn't be at the BBC.
No, but I sort of am saying that though.
No, but they want to reflect, isn't it?
They want to reflect
modern.
And I understand because they're government funded and taxpayer funded.
Yeah.
Then they have a kind of mandate to represent equally.
Yeah.
And on the surface, it like that's the thing. On the surface, if you take it completely at face value, we want women and minorities and people of the LGBT community. We want them to have a voice proportional to the people that are in the country. On the surface, that sounds like a fantastic thing.
Yes.
But the problem is, when you implement that policy, you start to see problems cropping in. Like, you've got people, you're having to get rid of people who are already at that organisation. And also, you can't rule out the possibility that people who might be better for a job that don't fit the diversity hire are not getting picked.
And let's face it, most of the time, just by sheer odds, that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
Because there are more men.
And it's not even like, there's
more men, but
and I'm not even saying like, there's a white male who's not getting hired. There could be a white woman who's not getting hired.
This goes across the board.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a utopian design, isn't it? And I would just advise, I'm not an expert, but you need to do only some cursory reading of history. I advise, any listener to look back at any state before that's tried a utopian design and seen how that's worked out. You can't say our organisation is going to be 50% men, 50% women, and engineer things around that. It can't work like that. It has to be a meritocracy.
That's the thing. If you're going to get there, you do it over time. You don't go, right, we're doing it at this point. If it means we're sacking people, we're sacking people. I don't see, like, doing it that way. If you end up getting rid of someone and you go, just for example, you get rid of a white male, you replace him with a black female or whatever.
Yeah.
For the sake of this argument, the white male actually happens to be a hell of a lot better at that role than the black female.
Yeah.
That's my major problem with it. Is it's taking into account what you are as opposed to what you can do.
Yeah.
Like you're not being hired based on skill, which surely should be at the forefront when it comes to a job.
Yeah.
Are you capable of? Are you the best person for doing this job? Not do you fit? Because what happens if you when you hit your thresholds? It's like, we've got enough gay people, thanks. We've hit our targets. We don't need you anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, for me, a lot of it, I completely understand why they're doing it, and I mean, there's probably a chance that of coming across as ignorant because, I mean, as we when we were talking about Brexit just then, I don't care. Like, I completely get doing it, and I understand, and it's 2019. It's all about inclusion and everything like that. I completely get it.
Yeah, but
I am also a little bit bored of just hearing all this. As I said to you, like when they announced that the date for the election, my main sadness was that means that we now know when John Bercow is stepping down as as the common speaker.
Order.
Yeah. Because I've never sat there and watched like a common session. I've watched like highlights.
No.
But if I've watched anything like out of the top of it, it is just watching clips of him because they are funny as fuck.
Yeah.
So, and whoever comes in, it just isn't going to be the same. When Boris walked out of the house, the Commons, literally not that long ago.
Yeah.
And he's just stood there going, well, no, right, okay, the Prime Minister doesn't want to engage. And he's just like, literally, as he's walking, Boris Johnson's just walking off past him.
Yeah.
But the way he handles it has still got the people in stitches.
Yeah.
And that is the problem is that is my level of caring about most things.
No, you have to sort of get past it or something. Life is not about politics.
No.
It can't be about... The whole point of politics, surely, is that it's just supposed to work and you don't notice it working. That's what it's for. It's to make your life just, not easy, but you know what I mean.
I don't work for the government or the council. I don't need to... Yeah,
it's not your, it's not your life. You make your decision who you want in power, and that's that.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about no platforming, just because, and that sort of thing, because I remember being in university and having these fiery arguments with my course mates. Because Roosh V, was that the guy? He was the ITV, chat up guru. Was that his name? Roosh V?
I don't know. What is this?
He was a comedian, I think.
Yeah.
A comedian. He's a chatbot, a ladies' man, chatbot sort of thing. And what are they called? Something artists.
What, isn't someone who just chats up?
Like they got they're experts at pulling women, basically. There's a certain name for them, something artists.
Creeps.
Creeps.
Creep artists.
Yeah, and this guy was a creep, right? But he was coming to Cardiff, I think, to do a talk or something, and he got no Now, I hate this guy, everything I saw about him, right? But everyone's like, oh, good that he's been no platformed. And my thing is, if there's enough people that want to pay to go see him, then just give him the platform. And my only contention was just give him the platform and then not protest it, but just counter-argue it, just have your own thing against it. And even my lecturers were taking me to task for daring to suggest that this guy should have a platform. Like, I'm not saying I agree with him. I just think silencing someone is counterintuitive to a conversation.
Well, I was like, Jimmy Carr is someone who has talked about, like, he would much rather people who don't want him to be up on the stage come to his show and have a debate with him about it and, call him out or whatever and have a debate with it. Because at the end of the day, comedy is subjective. Yeah. So if they don't find him funny, well, they're not wrong. But he'd much rather have that dialogue. Yeah. Than, them screaming for him to have no platform across social media or something, Yeah. And, I don't remember the person that you're on about, but I do sort of think, as you say, if there's enough people, the amount of people that complain about Bill Burr, or, for
like Annapolis, not really the same thing, but I know.
But like at the same time, there are people who will want to listen to Bill Burr, plenty of people. Well, and if there's an audience, sorry, go.
No, you haven't finished.
But if there's an audience for this person who was coming to Cardiff or whatever, well, okay, cool, let him do his thing.
Yeah, it's the willful suspension of irony as well, which is when people talk about these comedians and this idea that everything they say is what they literally believe, as if they're going up on stage and reciting their philosophy, their sincere philosophy. They're having a laugh. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it should be at the expense of everyone, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I do like comedy to have a point, and I don't think you should just laugh at people with limps falling over. But but that's funny. No, you know what I mean. Like I just think anyone can be a target if for the right reasons, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, Jordan Peterson's a fantastic example of that backfiring, isn't it?
Right.
He's been on podcasts where he said that he's been in positions where people have no platformed him. Yeah. And it's just resulted in him reaching a wider audience.
Yes, that's all it ever does.
There's he was going to speak at a university. I think it's that video of him standing outside on a campus and he's talking to people and he's standing on like a raised area or something. Where they wouldn't let him speak at the university, but there was a venue across the street that had twice the seating or 3 times the seating, and they were like, "Oh, come here instead." And he spoke that venue sold out.
Yes, yeah.
Or indeed the now infamous Kathy Newman interview, where they're constantly trying to sort of push him into a corner and get him to, sort of twist his answers into something that they wanted, whatever it was about. And the internet made a fool of her. Peterson wasn't, I think in the media they took against Peterson slightly, but in terms of the internet, she was definitely vilified.
That sort of shows the bubble more than most things. Like when they put those things up, they seem to be doing it as if they really think they've dressed this guy down. They have no idea they come across looking like idiots or ignorant or arrogant or whatever. There was a guy who worked at Netflix, and this is a story from last year. He was what was his name? His name was Jonathan Friedland.
Okay.
And he was a communications executive at Netflix, and they had a board meeting, and he was talking about words that people find offensive.
Yeah.
And in that, he said the N-word is offensive. he got fired for that, right?
Fucking hell.
Okay.
Now, I want to bear in mind, not only was what he was saying in context, the whole point of the meeting was about avoiding any potential offensive, comment. So this is what the CEO has said about it. His descriptive use of the N-word on at least 2 occasions at work showed unacceptably low racial awareness and sensitivity. Now, ignoring the fact that...
He was saying, don't use it.
Ignoring the fact they were talking about racial sensitivity.
Yeah.
But like that thing, it showed a lack of racial awareness and sensitivity.
Yeah.
Don't they just sound like Orwellian Big Brother terms?
It sounds like...
He failed to comply with our racial sensitivity program. You know what I mean?
It sounds like a parody. It genuinely sounds like a parody.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. It was like, we can't use this word. You said the word.
Yeah.
Your life is now over.
Yeah. American man says he likes Mexican people and has been fired because of his derogatory use of the word Mexican.
Yes.
The question is, will this stop? Will this stop, or is it going to inflate and inflate and inflate?
I genuinely don't know.
The problem is all balloons burst, and I'm worried that when this does burst, it's going to swing too far the other way. Because
that is the problem. Yeah, genuinely.
Because you've got the alt-right, which is a response to the Hillary Clinton robot that she was, right?
Well,
not that we're going to talk about our politics at this point. But
I think we exclusively have since saying that.
Yeah. No, it's more about it's still culture, isn't it? And about what's acceptable in language and all that sort of stuff. But and I mean, it's genuinely with you two in particular, you're writers. I write a little bit as well. Yeah.
But if you embark on your desired careers, this is all stuff that's
this matters.
Yeah, relevant to you. You're going to be having these discussions with people, and you're going to be can I tell the story that I want to tell?
But that's the thing. If I wanted to write a story, and it was, I was trying to think of a script that includes language like that.
Yeah.
There's a play called Mogadishu, and I feel like
right.
What was it called? Sorry,
it's called Mogadishu.
Okay.
And I feel like it's mentioned in there. But if I was going to write a script and it called for a character to say it, then I'd write it. But that to me, I could write it down and people aren't going to say shit.
Yeah.
But if all you'd need is a video of, if it got to a rehearsal, a video of me reading that bit as part of a rehearsal or whatever.
Yeah.
Put that online and suddenly,
your career's over.
Yeah, I think it's the case of, if you're writing that sort of story, you're going to use that sort of language.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if someone's going to tell me what I can and can't write.
No.
And if you don't want to produce my content, fair enough. But even if it's at the stage where you're casting, and say I have got 4 leads and I cast 4 white people, right? Just not because they're white, just I cast 4 white people. And someone comes along and says, you need to cast someone who's not white.
Yeah.
But I have my 4 perfect actors. Damn it if I'm going to just for the sake of something.
Yeah.
You
know what I mean?
I found the 4 perfect cast members. No, you're right. I'll keep 1 white guy.
Yeah.
I'll hire a black female and an Asian woman, and
And that's the lie of sitcoms nowadays, isn't it? And because it is just a utopian vision of what it could be. And I'm not against that vision, obviously, but where there's the black friend, there's the Asian friend. When you look at friendship groups, generally speaking, it's quite homogenous, isn't it, racially speaking?
Well, again, we live in Wales.
Yeah, we do. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. No, but this is the thing. I looked this up in conjunction with the BBC thing. Because they say it's supposed to reflect. And in fairness, the BBC is all over the UK.
Yeah.
Wales is, I think, 95% white.
Right. I have no friends of colour.
I think in school, there were probably only a handful of people of colour.
Yeah.
And that's all, people of colour. There were only a handful. I think there was 2 in our year group.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, it's incredible.
No, we have one friend of colour, but he's from, I believe his mother is from Pakistani heritage.
Oh, yes.
But his father is white, as far as I know. But that's the closest we get.
It's interesting because when I was in my first primary school, that I think was more. I remember that being more diverse.
Yeah.
Than the future ones, because when I went to my first one, there was like someone who was from like Asian descent, someone who was Indian, someone who was black. So, you know, but then I sort of moved up north.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, my certainly the first like form or class or whatever, you know, I think that was basically all white. Yeah. And then, as you say, now, I mean, you know, I work in a pub. In the summer, we had, I think, maybe 3 or 4 members of staff that were of colour. Like you know, no, actually, I think it was 5.
Okay.
But the summer's over now, and people have gone off and done whatever, which means we've now got, I think, 2.
Yeah. Right. I'm not denying that you know, I'm not saying you don't get mixed friendship groups.
No,
you most certainly do.
And this is the thing, like, but these stories, you know, the stories that were given,
and also in Cardiff, because Cardiff has very much become a student city, so you get people coming from all over the place.
Yes, but even still, my closest friends, generally speaking,
are white. Yeah. It's and that's, you know, just as a matter of that's the way it is. It's not like a choice.
No, exactly.
It's a but these stories and TV shows they're all kind of harvested in the metropolitan nexus, aren't they? Where it is multicultural and it is this. So there is a bit of a blindness in terms of what reality actually does reflect in most places. Like Friends, you know, I read so many articles now that say like, oh, Friends is so white. As if that's a bad thing. Not, do you know what I mean? Not bad that like, oh, you know, it's good that it doesn't have black people. I mean, as if whiteness, fucking hell, I'm getting really agitated.
You get really impassioned with Friends.
As if whiteness is something in and of itself that's kind of
to be reviled.
It's
sort of pushed against.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is all of these articles then ignore the fact that Friends at the time was such a basic show.
Yeah.
But it was revolutionary.
It was. A story hit recently, I think it was a lad Bible or something. Our uni lads. And it was the
most reliable.
I know.
I don't hang around with him anymore, but I had a guy who genuinely got all of his news from lad Bible. And
you got rid of him from your life.
Yeah.
No, this article was how Matthew, it came to light that the Friends writers had an idea where that would involve Chandler going to a gay bar where he has a certain sub, you know, sandwich, and he likes it so much that he keeps wanting to go back to the gay bar but doesn't want to look like he's gay. And he said, I'm not going to do it. Okay? Now, I'm not... It's a separate argument over whether that would have been a good storyline to do.
Did they, just out of curiosity, did they list the reason why he said he didn't want to do it?
I don't think they did, but it's probably the reason you imagine.
Okay.
Which was not going to even come close to depicting gay people as, you know...
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. That is what it is. But that article went on to say, Friends was never really good about LGBTQIA plus issues, right? And I'm thinking, and their argument was that all the men kind of have a fear of femininity. You know, like when they have the male nanny, when Ross and Rachel have the male nanny, and how Ross is uncomfortable with his. Now, sorry, but the matter of fact, less and less so, but especially back then. Men do have that kind of terror of like anything vaguely feminine or homoerotic. So I'm like, I'm not that. Oh, gay. Yeah, in primary school, everything was, you're gay. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's good, but the point is, we didn't then grow up to be homophobes.
No.
Anyway.
But didn't Friends depict...
No, this is my point.
Yeah.
So Friends, which this article was saying, it was never really good about homosexuality because of these things. It had the first ever lesbian wedding.
The first ever lesbian wedding. And Chandler's dad was a drag act.
Which, okay, there's a few jokes at his expense, but these are sympathetic characters that we're meant to like. Yeah. And a lesbian wedding is a very sympathetic... It's not like, there's a lesbian wedding in the show and it's ridiculed.
No,
it's an expression
and it was a big deal.
Ross, I'm pretty sure, walks his ex-wife down the aisle.
Yeah.
That's how supportive the characters are of this.
Yeah.
And I'm fully with them on that score, you know? But to then just... to claim that Friends was never... I don't know what you have to do anymore. No. I don't know what counts as being friendly to these various letters. I just don't know what it is anymore.
No. I'd also say, just with the whole male nanny thing.
Yeah.
Until I, babysat for neighbours and, family members when I was younger.
Yeah.
I don't remember another like boy who did babysitting. It was all girls. It was, you know, because when I told people at school that I was going to babysit my cousin or, you know, the neighbours, the thing is like, but you, like, you're a boy. Is there not, you know, and it was that reaction.
And I think it's sort of this whole movement, whatever you want to call it. It's trying to cloud the fact that we all exist with certain preconceptions about things and certain expectations, right? So, for instance, comedy, a lot of it is about subverting expectation.
Yeah.
And what they're trying to tell us is that expectations are in and of themselves, whatever, patriarchal, or whatever word you want to use. Expectations are prejudicial. If there are no expectations, we can't even have a conversation with each other.
No.
You have to exist with a basic set of assumptions about things. The fact that men are expected to be masculine, so when they're not, because that is subverting your idea of what a man is, it can be funny. It doesn't mean that you look down on any men who exhibit feminine. I wouldn't be friends with you, Eddie.
I know, I was saying. No, but legitimately, I am rather feminine.
Yeah.
You know, I really am. I don't hide it. I'm not ashamed of it.
No, of course not. You know, and I think all three of us, by certain standards, are quite feminine.
We're certainly not, you know, testosterone and you know, that we're not that at all.
I mean, you know, out of fear of hitting another person, I once punched a wall.
Yeah.
And then immediately regretted it and thought I was the biggest idiot on the planet.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the the stereotypical rugby boy that will bang his head against something and do it. That's just not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very comfortable in, like, being me. You know, I don't hide the fact that I'm rather feminine. Don't really care.
Yeah.
That's just who I am. That's, see, I talked in the previous podcast, I talked about the fact that I worked in care, like, but that surprised a lot of people, that things like that, because I remember having a conversation which, like, is that not, like, you don't get many men doing that job. And then I was trying to explain that actually, the first place I worked at in Cardiff, that was an all-male staff team. I mean, it had to be an all-male staff team because of the clientele.
But, right. Whoa, that's very, what are you saying?
I'm not...
Are you saying that women, broadly speaking, aren't as physically equipped to deal with...
No, I'm saying...
How dare you, Ed?
I'm saying in that particular house, there was a ruling in place as exception.
Oh, I see. Okay, no, this is actually a thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, being a thing.
I'm being legitimate. I'm not being sexist.
No. We. I think what we were trying to do there was to point out that it wouldn't have been, even if that wasn't the case.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
But no, you know. So, but it was an all-male staff team.
Yeah.
And that just sort of, it's like, really, like, but it isn't. I think it's only when you work in that environment that I think you realise actually there's quite a good split. For, you know, because before the one in Cardiff, I worked in a play scheme where my father lives.
Yeah.
That was a fairly, you know, well split. That wasn't... Okay, maybe there was slightly more female members of staff than there were male. Yeah. But at the end of the day, there was still plenty of male staff that worked there.
Yeah. I think the thing is, it's like... My TLDR is that we have to get past this idea that assumptions are haram, which I couldn't think. Is there like a Christian equivalent of that? Like a sin, you know? It's a thing. Taboo. So the Muslim word wasn't loaded, but assumptions are not haram, and I think the problem with this, one of the problems with this ideology, is that it's unsustainable. Like. People who really adhere to it are just going to alienate everybody around them. And the fact is, you can't keep fractionating people into different groups.
Yeah, where does it end?
Yeah, where does it end? Because as Jordan Peterson has pointed out, Western civilization already did that, and they fractionated it down to the level of the individual. And that's how you judge people on their individuality, not by their group. We already sorted that out. It's been done already.
Yeah.
The Enlightenment happened. Because yes, otherwise... if we're going back up a tier, where does it end? What if, okay, I'm not black and I'm not gay, and I'm not disabled.
I'm not hiring you then.
I'm not disabled, but I come from a low economic background. Is that a thing? Does that count as equality? You know, it is an infinite pool. And so you have to contend with the reality that, oh yeah, when all is said and done, everyone is different. And you have to judge everyone on, you know, their own terms.
Who is I can't remember which comedian it is, but somebody does a joke about how racists see the world.
Richard Herring.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
That's good. That's funny. It's basically
it's an absurdist point, but like the idea that the point of the joke is that racists are less racist than non-racists.
Oh yeah.
Basically, he says that you as like metropolitan liberal, you know, open-minded people probably think there are 196 countries, each with different distinct identities, distinct cultures, and everything. And he said, but racists think there are 4 types of people: you're white, you're black, you're Chinese, or you're Mexican, I think, or something like that.
Oh, Arab, was it?
Mexican is covered under that.
Oh,
if you're
a
racist,
okay.
right?
I see.
And then he says, if you're an extreme racist, you either see people as black or white. They're just one step away from seeing everyone as being exactly the same, and you dare judge them.
That's good. No, it's just like it reminded me because when you said about, you know, we've fractionated it down to the individual, and now we're moving back up. It just reminded me of that joke.
Yeah.
I'm not like, you know, oh, this joke makes a fantastic point about.
Yes, it's just a funny joke. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So our TLDR on politics,
diversity politics
is
stop.
Yeah.
And can people stop using the sentence "stay woke" because it really,
That's Is that a meme yet? I feel like it's on its way.
It's definitely a meme.
Okay.
Just
the word woke.
Everything is a meme these days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's even I'm only bringing it up because we only just saw it, but at the time we're recording, I think it's the second trailer for The Mandalorian came out.
Yeah.
Star Wars: The Mandalorian, and at the end of the trailer, you hear the Mandalorian speak. All he says is like, "Yeah, good," or something like that. Someone says something to him, and his response is, "Yeah, good." And the comment section, there's like a bunch of comments like, "Oh, I've just witnessed the birth of a meme," because everyone knows that phrase is just going to be memed into oblivion.
Oh yeah,
when
100%.
When we and our peers vacate this planet,
memes,
our legacy
memes will still exist.
Our legacy will be we were the meme generation.
Our generation invented memes.
And I hope that you are all proud of that.
But I also hope that the next generation come up with something better
than memes.
Yeah.
That's my only hope, generally, is that all this shit that we're going through right now, I don't want to swing too far, because the point I was going to make earlier was the alt-right. Broadly speaking, is just like a lot of trolling goes on. But then because of the Clinton stuff, it goes way back to like genuine neo-Nazis, and you know that's obviously swinging too far the other way.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that this will swing too far the other way, where people who are so sick of it will just become genuinely racist and genuinely sexist.
Yeah.
So I hope that the next generation finds a way to mediate and vitiate all this stuff. I'm not confident, but I hope they will. What's that quote about how societies are built? I can't remember how it starts, but it's like, you know, good societies and bad societies.
Yeah. I don't remember.
I can't remember where it starts, but it's like good societies create weak people. Weak people create bad societies.
Yes.
Bad societies create strong people, and strong people create good societies. And so where would we be at in the continuum? I would say...
I think we're creating weak people at the moment.
I think a strong society has created weak people.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had to go to war.
Yeah.
You know, financially we're a bit fucked, but other than that, we're kind of doing all right as a generation.
Yeah.
That's where all the stuff has come from, by the way.
Yeah.
There's no war to fight, so we've created one.
Yeah.
And
also,
and we are making now we are making a weak society.
Yes.
But that will hopefully produce stronger offspring.
Hopefully, yeah. But I just going to say, because recently you've been sort of educating me on television a little bit.
Yeah.
You've been showing me TV shows that I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Great TV shows, and a lot of those are from like the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
And just looking at gender politics during that time as well. That seems to be like a time where it all just seemed to...
They got it right.
Yeah, they got it right.
And there were obviously horrible civil rights abuses in the 90s. You know, there was...
yes, it wasn't perfect.
No, the Rodney King, the LA riots and stuff like that. But entertainment seemed to kind of get it right.
Yeah.
You know?
Like the amount of jokes about Turk's race on Scrubs.
Yeah.
There's like a scene where JD like breaks Turk's hand off and starts eating it like a bar of chocolate. Isn't it?
Yeah, that genuinely is, yeah. Things like that, even that you couldn't...
You couldn't do that nowadays.
You just couldn't do it. Even Blazing Saddles is a lot earlier, but the 70s. But the whole point of that film is to satirize racism.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it.
No.
You absolutely couldn't do it.
Well, as proven by whatever that Netflix guy's name was.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, one question, like, I like it sort of had in my mind is obviously we've all seen Trainspotting.
Yeah.
The scene with the baby.
Yes.
If that
Why would you bring that up when we're in a dark room, Eddie?
Though I gotta say, weirdly enough, we talked about this 2 days ago.
Would that scene get made in the film if it was being done today?
That might, because it's a white baby.
Yeah. Okay. No. Genuinely, fair enough. Because the interesting thing is like,
what's it? Just because how dark it is? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Because because it's a child.
Yeah.
And you know, I think with
if anyone hasn't seen Trainspotting, do you want to explain the context of that scene?
To be honest, not really.
Okay.
No, but
I'll quickly do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trainspotting is a film about heroin addicts in Glasgow. No, Edinburgh, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then one of them... Was it Glasgow? It doesn't matter. It's Scotland.
It's Scotland.
And one of them has a baby, and because of their use, the heroin use, they neglect the baby, and it crib death, those are called.
Yeah.
And then the guilt kind of is felt by everyone in that group, and then the main character goes through withdrawal by going cold turkey, and he has a hallucination of the dead baby, essentially, crawling along the ceiling and just kind of turning its head and staring at him.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very unpleasant, disturbing scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah,
I'm genuinely looking at the ceiling now, just to be sure.
Don't, because I'm the one who's got my back to the room.
Right.
So don't fucking put me on edge.
At least you'll be I'll have to see it coming.
I won't even know it's coming.
No, but for you, it'll
just fall on my head.
Yeah, it'll be a moment, and you'll just have to deal with it. I'm gonna have to see that shit coming. No, like, oh god, this is something.
I feel for you.
This is something we're gonna have to deal with now.
Typical. Go on. Yeah.
But yeah, no. Would that, as you've answered the question really, but would that get made into, would that seeing it, because it's dark.
Yeah.
It's a child. I mean, in the first place, would a film about heroin users get made?
Well, it's interesting because this is
because obviously T2 was, it's not that long ago.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting.
That is less drug heavy.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring it up because it shifts the point slightly, because this is not about diversity politics now. This is more about just our sort of like
what's appropriate.
Yeah, our kind of unwillingness to delve into darker territory.
Yeah, risk.
Yeah, there's on YouTube now. I think I can't remember what it was that started it, but now you have to disclose whether there's children in your video or not.
Because of the proliferation of pedophiles.
Yes,
that's what that is about.
Yeah, that's what it is. And I think somebody was. We should do a little bit of research going to, because I feel like there's a couple of times now where I've gone, this thing that I can't remember any of the details.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But there was like a woman who had a channel that I think her daughter was in some of the videos, and it was a family friendly channel.
Yeah.
She wasn't. It was just like her and her daughter doing like fun little things together.
Yeah.
And all of her videos got demonetized by YouTube because the child was raised.
Okay.
Because I don't know whether the algorithm feared something was amiss or not.
That's what I mean. It was the same thing with the Joker. This idea that it was going to somehow galvanize young men into going and shooting up, whatever.
Yeah.
It's this abject fear that something will lead to a bad result.
Yeah.
And the fact is, a pervert will find his perversion. And if there are videos of any children, and they're inclined a certain way, they're going to derive some satisfaction from it. Does that mean that just images of children are to be, and I just mean just normal images, obviously, are to just be banned?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No. What if there's a bloke, right? There's a bloke, and he gets off on horses. He really likes horses, right? But he's good because of his childhood. He has a weird psychological connection between horses and guns. So, he sees a video of a horse in the field, he masturbates, this is a weird hypothetical, and then because of his weird sexual deviancy, he then goes and buys a gun and kills a bunch of people. Are you going to ban horse videos? The point was already made before that weird,
Yeah, well,
before that weird story.
What the hell was that?
But I was using an extreme example, basically. Of because there's always going to be something that,
right.
So there's someone who's turned on by signpost somewhere, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I told you that in confidence, Sam.
What's really disturbing is that your favourite one is stop.
Fucking hell, it's all coming out tonight, isn't it? No, but the original, like, the part of
This certainly doesn't say one way, does it? Go on.
Touche. No, but the point I was going to make, harking back to train spotting, and talking about what's appropriate and what's not, is when I worked in care, as part of the training that they do, is you do it's called an anti-drugs training.
Right.
But you say anti-drugs, I mean, part of it involved showing you how to essentially cook heroin.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
You know, so...
To what end?
As in...
I guess, so if you saw the paraphernalia, I guess, you'd know what was going on.
So you would, you know, so it was, if you see someone doing this, this is like
they're shooting up,
This is like the...
If you see someone with a needle in their arm, might be a good sign.
Like, you know, seeing someone heating something up on a spoon, showing them like how to do it, literally showing you like how it's done.
Yeah.
Because in this line of work, you might see this, and then going, but we have to also show you what you might see on the street, which is a bit of foil.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And which is obviously the sort
smoke.
of there's the smoked / B-tech way of doing it.
I like that. B-tech though.
B-tech though. Fucking hell. But they had to show you like those sort of different things. But I remember coming out of that training and then talking to people about like, this was because it was a really interesting. It is a really interesting training to do. But then telling people, I'm like, do you now know, like, not that I'm not exactly, I'm not shooting up every week, but I didn't know how to cook heroin before that. I do now. Yeah. Being like, is that really, like, is that appropriate? Is that the right thing to be? Yeah. You know, there's a way, surely they can show you without showing you. Yeah. Kind of thing.
But this is, it's you bring something to mind, it's a very interesting thing of how this will end up eating itself. And Dave Chappelle, again, we come back to him, uses a good example. In America now, kids have to do high school shooter drills in a lot of places. And his point was, surely they're educating the shooter because they're telling you where to gather, here's where we assemble in the event of a shooter. It's like, okay, noted, And that's a good example of how you just end up sort of creating a problem, I suppose. Yeah. If you're listening to these podcasts for the giggles, we'll catch you next time, I guess.
Oh, sorry about that.
We'll take a rain check on the giggles.
Quick, Eddie, think of something that Sam hates. Get into that symbol.
I want to clarify. I do hate school shooters.
Oh, right, okay.
I can't really riff comedically.
Sam, do a funny rant about school shooters. Go.
God, they can't even load their weapons properly half the time.
No, they can. That's the problem.
I don't know. Come on.
No, we started off nice and light-hearted, talking about Christmas and Christmas songs. We've got a little bit serious.
Yes.
I think by the time we come back next week...
Yeah, there'll be enough silly.
Next week in inverted commas.
No, it will actually be next week.
No, it won't. It'll be actually 2 weeks.
It'll be 2 weeks.
Okay. We'll be recording.
We'll have some more fun, light-hearted stuff.
Hopefully. Hopefully things have happened in the world of pop culture for us to talk about.
There's some things have happened.
Nothing like... I think I looked at, like, yesterday, things that have happened. I like the biggest thing that's been announced is the guy who's doing... the Pirates reboot, the Pirates of the Caribbean reboot.
Which is?
It's the writer, right?
Yeah.
It's the writer for Chernobyl.
Yeah, Craig Mazin.
Yes.
Who also wrote or co-wrote.
Yeah, the Hangover films.
The Hangover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes me think of I don't know, but like he had that series in him. I don't know whether that means he's one to watch as a writer now necessarily. As brilliantly written as that show is, I don't think this means we should be excited about a Pirates of the Caribbean reboot because that's not a Craig Mazin joint. That's a Disney joint.
Yes.
And also, watching Pirates of the Caribbean, generally speaking, I'm watching it for the Johnny Depp performance.
Yeah, and it's unclear whether he'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've made the point, Sam, before about like Robert Pattinson and to a lesser degree Kristen Stewart because of their those two being in Twilight. And I think it was the first major role for both of those actors, right?
He was in Harry Potter and then Twilight.
Oh yes, of course he was Diggory, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was also bad in that though.
It was their first, yeah.
But first main film.
Yeah, it was their first leading roles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But since then, I mean, Robert Pattinson's done Good Time.
Yeah.
He's in The Lighthouse this year.
High Life, yeah.
High Life. He's definitely shown his capabilities as an actor.
Yeah. And the new Christopher Nolan film he's in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But you were saying...
Yeah. He's one of the three leads, I think.
Okay. But you were saying that, like, in terms of Twilight, it's possible that he was always a good actor.
Yeah.
But, like, a film like Twilight, like a big studio thing, it's not possible to be good in those.
Yeah, I think it's fair to... Because I brought up with Jared Leto and Suicide Squad.
Yeah, if you don't have the source material...
Yeah. You can only do so much.
Yeah.
Lindelof might be another good example as well. Damon Lindelof.
Yeah. Do you want to explain who he is?
Yes, well, Damon Lindelof wrote Lost. He wrote Leftovers. He's currently, he's written Watchmen.
Yeah.
Watchmen is currently showing.
Yeah.
In the realm of TV, it seems like he has had a very successful career.
Yes.
The world of film, however, Prometheus is the only one I can think of, but he's written more, right?
He co-wrote Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh, right.
He did like a draft of that. Prometheus, he wrote that film that got shelved, The Hunt.
Oh, yeah.
Was it The Hunt?
Yeah.
What else has he written? Star Trek Into Darkness, I feel like he co-wrote.
Okay.
It's not the worst.
No, that's okay.
No, but this thing, all of the films at least are big, like, studio productions, in which he was probably not the... Like, he probably didn't have final say on the material, did he?
He has said on many occasions that in film, the director is God, and you are there to service the director's vision.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas in TV, the writer is God.
Yes. And whatever, because there are still people out there. I mean, there are people who probably haven't even seen The Leftovers. There are definitely people who've never seen The Leftovers. Yeah. And there are people...
I haven't seen The Leftovers.
Yes.
No, I've seen like a couple of episodes, I think. Well, no, I have. I've seen a couple of episodes. And there are certainly people out there who don't like Lost, or at least think that the ending of the show ruins Lost.
Yeah.
Even if you're one of those people, you can't deny the impact Lost had.
No. Yeah.
You know?
Yes, and given that, for me anyway, like, he has been so successful. I love everything he's done on television. And I haven't liked a single thing he's done in cinema.
No.
No, I don't mind Star Trek Into Darkness. I would tend to probably agree with him then that he's sort of been overshadowed by... But to be fair to the bloke, he sort of... It's always to his own detriment. Because I remember when Prometheus was on the verge of coming out, he said, look, I know the vision for this film. I think it's amazing. Ridley Scott is great. He said, so if you like the film, it's because of Ridley Scott. And if you don't like the film, it's because I didn't do a good enough job of servicing his vision.
Yes.
It's like he can't win in that equation. So fair play to, he put himself in a position where he couldn't win.
Yeah.
But it's obviously not his fault, is it?
No.
It's like there's so much money behind those things.
You know, especially since Ridley Scott did Alien Covenant, didn't he?
Yes.
Which should be proof enough, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think we've run out of steam.
Have we?
Have we?
Have we? Okay.
Okay.
This has been a podcast?
It has.
It most certainly has been a podcast.
Yes. There'll be more laughs next time.
Yes, we promise.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Say bye, George.
Bye.